Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Okay, happy November. The biggest announcement I've ever made, besides the announcement of this podcast and the announcement of Sanctuary of She, is coming 1 week from today, if you're listening to this in real time as it's dropped. On 11/11, I am announcing something absolutely massive. 11/11 is the podcast birthday. Also, the podcast is turning 4 in 1 week, which is just so mind-blowing, you guys. A library of over 215 episodes, 4 years of me showing up every single week with my microphone to talk with you, to do life with you, to unpack energetics with you, and to align with all the juicy magic that life has to offer with you. It is the greatest joy and ride of my life doing this podcast with you every single week, and I cannot believe of who I've become in the identity of showing up with my microphone every single week with you guys. So if you've been around since the beginning, if you are here now, I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here and part of this. And in honor of the podcast's 4th birthday, I am doing the most massive thing I think I've ever done. And I cannot wait to share it with you in 1 week. So keep your eyes peeled. It absolutely involves you, and you are absolutely going to want to be a part of this. Okay. All right. So for today's episode, I want to share with you, actually, I was very inspired the other day in a moment where I just wanted to speak, and I didn't have my podcast gear around. And so I ended up just going live in the front seat of Tom's car during the sunset as he was doing a photo shoot to share an epiphany. And in today's podcast episode, I want to share that recording with you. If you haven't yet watched it on Instagram, this epiphany has so much to do with power of letting ourselves create and manifest with the quantum field. It has nothing to do with anything other than your level of belief in it, believing before you're seeing. These topics I've been talking about for 4 years on this podcast and even longer. And through the process, the creation process of what I am announcing a week from today, I had this humongous epiphany that just made it more clear than ever of truly how powerful we are when it comes to manifestation and energetics work. So I'm going to drop the audio in here. If you want to watch on YouTube, our YouTube channel, these podcasts now drop on video format every Thursday, and I will actually put the video of the live on there. And it is also on the Sanctuary of She Instagram. If you don't follow us there, head to Sanctuary of She on Instagram and say hello. That's where I share all the good, juicy memes, some videos, some snippets from the podcast, and apparently the occasional live. So without further ado, keep your eyes peeled for 1 week from today. And here is the live. Hello, I'm live. We're live. Hello, coming to you from the car at sunset. Tom is currently at a photo shoot, and I came with him. So we are getting hit with this ping of inspiration. You guys, I have a story that I have to share with you, and I'm not home. I don't have my podcast equipment near, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live. We're going to just go live. We're going to do this live because it is like flowing through my body right now, and I know that if it's serving me today, it's probably going to serve you too. I know this is meant for someone today. I had this epiphany today, you guys. One of those things that is in plain sight, and almost one of those things that especially in my work of energetics, I'm touching the outskirts of all the time. But today the truth landed in my body as a whoa moment. Okay? So through this epiphany, I'm going to tell you what it was, but through this epiphany, one of the blocks that I think a lot of people have when it comes to truly the power of energetics and manifestation is the entire narrative behind we move first, then the universe moves. Because our entire life, we have been taught that we must have permission or evidence that tells us, yes, green light, go, before it's physically safe to move in that direction, right? This is how we've done things typically our entire life until we truly tap into the power of this work. And so it's such a paradigm dynamic shift to reverse that completely. And to be the one that decides, I go first. To be the one that decides, even though I don't see it yet, I believe it. And I move with that. And this is the pinnacle of energetics work, because what we put out, we attract. It's one big cosmic mirror. And so when we do this, when we actually become conscious, power is awareness in every moment, and we start shifting and rewiring the subconscious that follows that, we realize instantaneously how powerful we are. Because when we start operating different, it is instantaneous how we are met with different. And that is why once you get a taste of this, once you get a lick of this, there's no going back. Because you realize how limitless you are. And so we take bigger strides and bigger strides, and we expand and we expand and we expand and we expand. And the human experience becomes one big game that we get to play, right? So this epiphany happened today that has brought something to life in such a different modality. Because one of the biggest conversations that I have with my clients in the Sanctuary of She community is all around the 3-letter word, how. H-O-W, how. Yes, but how? How do I do this? How is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? What's it going to look like? And the number one thing we can't ask in energetics work is, how? Because that's not how it works. If you don't know how yet, you're not a match for how. And so if you're going to try to derive a how, it's going to come from the mind instead of the soul and the body. And yes, you can craft a plan and a strategy, but it's probably only going to get you a percentage of the way there. If you're really tapping into limitless, your part of your job in this is really, hi Lauren, thanks for joining me in my sunset chat. Hi Rachel. You guys, this is so much fun. Being live with you guys is so much fun. I think we should do this more. So when we are putting something into motion, our first thought is we want to be given permission. We want to be anchored in the evidence of something coming to life before we really allow it to start to take form. This is why one of the biggest manifestation blocks is around, but I've got to see it first, right? The how question. How do I do it? And the number one thing with energetics work is that we cannot ask how, because if you don't know how yet, you're not a match for how. And so we can derive a how using the mind, right? Like we were talking about. But if we're really tapping into our exponential limitlessness, that's not the answer. The answer is anchoring deep into trust and belief that when you're a match, you will know the how, and your part of the equation, your part of your job in this now is not to try to do that, but your part is the energetics work. Allowing yourself to open your heart, tapping into your expansion, tapping into your love, your connection, your limitless, your gratitude, all of these pieces that are available to us right now, every day, expanding more and more and more and more, and then boom, you get a grain of clarity. And then boom, you get a grain of clarity, and then boom, you get a grain of clarity. Okay, so what was my epiphany? What is the story that happened today? Knowing what we just said about energetics work, today I'm in the process of creating something right now that is coming to life next month. And a few months ago, I made a decision. That I was going to end the year for Sanctuary of She in a really fun, beautiful, new creative way. Opening 2025 in this really potent way. And I had no idea how it was going to come to life. I just made the decision. And there was no attachment. It was just coming from fun and joy. And the series of events that have conspired since that moment have been crazy. And I haven't seen it until today. I haven't noticed it until today. Okay? Literally the most wild experiences and stories, like synchronicities, things happening, getting face to face with some of my biggest fears, the most miraculous occurrences that were impossible landing. And I'm like, okay. And the whole time this is happening, I am getting flooded with clarity about what I want this to be, what I want this to look like. And you guys, today, it literally is to the point where it is coming in so quickly that I'm trying to fall asleep at night and I have to get up and go write things down because it's coming through so fast. Today, I'm trying to focus on a million things and I'm writing things. Like I have notes all over, sticky notes, my whiteboard, my planner, like my phone, notes are everywhere. And it finally hit me. It finally clicked. A lot of people talk about this experience as your channel being open, right? You're channeling, you're downloading, and we hear this a lot from people. But actually, this is what's happening. It takes 37 seconds of focusing on something for it to get set into motion in the quantum field. Now, why is that important? Why is that a big deal here? Because this manifestation game, this manifestation situation, it's not about the how. It's not about the needing to be shown before we take action. It is the fact and the truth that when you make a decision, it starts coming alive in the quantum field. Think of it like you're opening a portal. So a couple months ago, when I made this decision, it came to life. And every day that I've held this to be true, it has grown bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm seeing it clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And it feels like this magical thing flowing through, right? It feels like this experience being connected to divinity, and it is. But it's really just the power that each of us has to tap into. And I am willing it into form with the clarity being revealed one piece at a time because my decision to make it come to life. Because of my decision to bring it into form. Here's the kicker. This is where the two combine and collide. Because if we go back a couple months ago when I made this decision, if that would have been a maybe, if there would have been a worthiness piece that came into it, or a deserving piece, or is it likely piece, or is it going to fail, is it going to succeed? If that would have happened, I would not be here. I made a decision with sureness out of fun and joy and non-attachment, and I've thought about it every day. And I am bringing it to life by holding that, and it's revealing itself in massive, massive, massive levels to me through that. This is how powerful we are. This is how powerful manifestation is. And when we clear all the tangles and the blocks and the energetic knots that get in the way and the subconscious that prevents us from actually making decisions at this level, this is why the things aren't coming in your life. This is why you've been holding something for so long and you're like, yeah, Katie, but why isn't the energetics working? It's because your level of connection to that decision is only a percentage. And so in the quantum field, it's only a percentage. And because whenever you think about it and relate to it, you're only coming in so deep, it's staying only so deep. This is such a massive thing, you guys, because if we can really look at this for what it is, you see how in control you are. You see how empowered you are. When all you have to do is decide. All you have to do is claim it, own it, declare it, be it, and not need to know how. Just be in the fun and joy, the excitement and the curiosity of how it's going to come in. And it's not some big, masterful thing that is waiting for you to be good and check the boxes in every area and then it will give you the answers. It's literally just a reflection of how much you're letting it come to life. And day by day by day, as you open, it opens. You collapse time, it comes closer until boom, it's landed. And this is why when we get closer and closer and closer to things, it overflows our body, it overflows our mind, it overflows our life because it's coming to life, right? If we think about this in a tangible way, it's getting very dark in here. If we think this in about a tangible way, then think about like a vacation that you're going on, right? You get the seed of an idea. Oh, we should go on this vacation. Right? Same thing, but we can grasp that because it's actually a tangible thing in the 3D realm. And we know that it's predictable that if we want to do that, then we can, figure out the how and we can do it. But at some point, the tickets get booked. At some point, the hotel gets booked. At some point, the itinerary happens. And then at some point, you're getting on the plane and you're going to the vacation. This is happening energetically too. You're not sitting with the idea of the vacation going, oh, but am I worthy of it? Oh, but will it happen? Oh, but is that place even real? Is Paris even real? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I think the Eiffel Tower is real, but I haven't seen it in person, so maybe it's not real, right? It's tangible. It's 3D, so we can do that. But this is happening in the quantum field. 37 seconds on something sets it into motion. Imagine what a day, a week, a month, a year. And then as you collapse time and the paradigms begin to come together, a whole new realm opens. And this happens over and over and over and over again. So, all of this to be said, you are opening a portal with every decision that you are putting into motion. When you don't know how, when you don't have evidence, you don't fully believe it, you just claim it and you walk with it and you have joy, excitement, and curiosity, wondering how it's all going to come into form, right? If you just allow yourself to do that, if you allow yourself permission to play at that level, you are opening a portal in the quantum field and it will be revealed. The how will be revealed. It will come to you. You are that powerful. We are that powerful. And as it comes to life and it lands in your body and it overflows you with like, holy shit, what? Trust it. Because it's you. That you're finally allowing yourself to receive it. Because you're no longer blocking it with all the narratives. Okay? So this epiphany today, I had to come on and share it. I hope it has served one of you. This is the power of energetics work. And it is limitless. It is exciting. It is scary AF. And it's the greatest ride of life. So I'm celebrating each of you. Thank you for being on here and coming to story time with me. I hope this has served you. And keep your eye out for November because you guys, I have something. This is like, I am getting mind blown with every day as the clarity gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm like, okay, buckle up. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's for us together to do together. And I'm so excited. I hope you have a beautiful evening wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for sharing time with me. I'll see you soon.